So I'm here kind of at the south end of Missionary Ridge. This is the top of the ridge. That's the crest road there. This is the military crest of the ridge. The geographical crest is back where all these houses are. And that's part of where the Confederate troops were that made them uniquely unsuited to repulse the Union charge up the slopes. The guidebook I had mentioned that you could see Orchard Knob clearly from here, like right at the base or near the base of the ridge, but I think trees are blocking it. But Orchard Knob was where Grant was watching the battle, and at the time the Confederates that were up here would have been able to see all of the Union forces arrayed kind of in parade formation down at the base of the ridge, preparing for the assault. Now there were Confederate troops that were also at the base of the ridge in rifle pits. That was another reason why they were not in a particularly good position to repulse the attack, because they were split between guys at the base and rifle pits and then guys up at the top. As the guys in the rifle pits were quickly overrun by the charging Union forces, they fled up the slope to their lines, and those guys then blocked the fire of any rebels who were trying to shoot the Union troops also coming up the slope. And so once the Union troops took the rifle pits, they didn't stop there, which is what they were supposed to do. They just kept running right up the ridge following the fleeing rebels, and then they just took the top of the ridge as well. The rebels up here were thoroughly demoralized watching this spectacle, and most of them just fled the scene and abandoned guns and so forth. And so the Union troops that took this ridge, which were part of, I believe, part of Willick's brigade and Hazen's brigades as well, once they got to the top of the ridge, then they started heading north up along the crest of the ridge to come in and flank the defenders, rolling up the Confederate defenders that were there on the further north up the ridge. So, but this is indeed, this is just an incredible vista here, looking out over the city of Chattanooga, which you can see in the distance there where the taller buildings are, and then there's Lookout Mountain there to the left. And so the guidebook I was reading described it as just this sort of natural amphitheater that Chattanooga sat in. And so imagine the war being fought, and then this is along the ridge to the north here. Missionary Ridge, from where I took video earlier, runs all back along here, along this eastern side of the city. So just a really incredible tour here of Missionary Ridge, and this is where it ends for me. I think you can walk further south along the ridge there to get more there's more monuments and so forth, and eventually you reach the base of the southern base of the ridge. But I will head back to my car at the DeLong Reservation, which is several hundred yards back to the north.